That's a tough one there as an even call. I think I might like the Pacers. All right, still 6 o'clock in this one. We have the Memphis Grizzlies traveling to Minneapolis, take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah, I mean, the Grizz are pretty much in a collapse right now. I believe they've won like one of their last 10 games. Maybe not even that much, honestly. Playing terrible. Um, just really a bad look here right now for the Memphis Grizzlies, and I don't think it's going to get much easier. The Timberwolves haven't played fantastic, but matchup is going to be a problem with Gasol on Cat and things like that. Um, but yeah, let's see what else is going on. How do the injuries look here? Whoops, pushed the wrong button. A lot of injuries. A lot of injuries. Jeff Teague's going to be out. Tyus Jones is going to be out for the T-Wolves. Derrick Rose is day to day. He may or may not play. As far as Memphis, Garrett Temple's going to be out. Omri Casapie's going to be out. J. Michael Green and Jaren Jackson Jr. are both day to day, may or may not play. This is going to be a rough one. 6 o'clock, like I said. Minnesota at home is going to be favored by 4.5 points. That's not much, honestly. I would have thought that that would be a little higher, 6 or 7. I was just looking at I'm watching ESPN right now. I was just looking at their BPI, their Basketball Power Index, which kind of it rates each game. I don't know how many simulations they do, but they do a certain amount of simulations, and they rate each game based upon the likelihood that they're going to win. And you remember how just a second ago I was talking about that Indiana Pacers-Washington Wizards matchup, how it's an even spread, and I thought that was a little bit weird. I just saw that they have the Pacers at a 61% chance to win that game on the road. That's not massive, but I mean, it might be a little bit of a little bit of value there for any of you gamblers out there. That might be a nice little pickup. What else did I see? Also, wait. Okay. All right. All right. And I also just realized I skipped 2 games. I'm not sure what happened when I loaded the app up, but I skipped 2 games. We'll actually move backwards and get to these ones real quick. At 5:30, is that right? Yeah, okay. 5:30, we have the Boston Celtics hosting the Charlotte Hornets and Kemba Walker. Um, so I think Boston's last game was against Golden State on Saturday, so they've been off for like 4 games. Oh no, they played on Monday against the Nets and they won. But yeah, Charlotte playing okay right now, kind of just treading water. They're 1 game under 500, coming to Boston to take on the Celtics here. Let's see. Looks like Kyrie is day to day. They're not 100% sure if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, Terry Rozier is going to start there at point guard. Um, yeah, how about that Malik Monk performance a couple days ago to beat the Knicks? That was pretty fantastic. Let's look at the injury report here. What are we seeing? Yeah, Kyrie day to day. He may or may not play in this one. They said it's not serious, but you never know. Honestly, I would probably sit him for this game. There's not really much of a reason to. It's not a game that seems to be a terribly difficult one. Cody Zeller is going to be 100% out for the Charlotte Hornets. Boston is going to be favored by 8 points, and the matchup predictor at the BPI has them at 80% chance to win the game in this one. One more 5:30 game here. We have the Chicago Bulls, who just lost, was it last night, in a tough fashion there in Brooklyn. Now they're in Miami 1 day later. Back-to-back road nights. This is going to be a bad one. But yeah, taking on the Miami Heat, obviously. Let's see. Derrick Jones is going to be out, which I don't think really matters that much, but he is going to be out here for the Miami Heat. Let's see what else is going on here. Well, looks like a pretty standard-ass day here for these two teams. Injury bug, obviously. We got Jones out. Dwayne Wade, day-to-day, may or may not play. Tyler Johnson, same thing, may or may not play. And Goran Dragic is going to be out for sure. So a little bit of a depleted Miami Heat roster. And as far as the Bulls, they're just missing Chandler Hutchinson in this one. Miami going to be favored by 9.5 at home. and they have an 86% chance to win according to the simulations in this one. All right, that's enough of the 5:30. Now we're going to go back to where we were. Just 3 games left we're going to talk about. And this is the one that if I was running ESPN, instead of putting that Pacers-Wizards game on at 6 o'clock, I would have put this 6 o'clock game on. We have the Denver Nuggets in New Orleans taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, who just won last night in Houston. Short flight home. Now they're the home team. What are we looking at here? Michael Porter obviously out. Jamal Murray out for Denver. Anthony Davis obviously not going to play in this one. Still recovering. Julius Randle out. Elfrid Payton maybe going to play. Etwan Moore maybe going to play in this one. This is another one where I think it's a little bit interesting here. Denver, not a great road team, a fantastic. I think they only have four losses on the season at home. But I think that their record is just barely over 500 on the road. And vice versa for New Orleans, obviously, or the same. I mean, they're a terrible road team, but it doesn't matter because they're home here. This I think is going to be a good matchup, honestly. Denver going to be favored by 8.5 points on the road, but the BPI matchup predictor has this at a 50-50 game. So I think there's this is another one right here. I mean, they were high on New Orleans last night. I think that they had Houston was like an 8-point favorite last night, and New Orleans was like a 43% chance to win. They did win in Houston. Now they're a 50% chance at home against Denver. Getting no love because Anthony Davis is pretty much the only person that anybody cares about on the team. But this team's better than than just Anthony Davis. I don't know if I would say they have a 50% shot at winning, but it's definitely worth looking into there for any prospective gamblers. All right, and this will be a tough one to watch. At 8 o'clock, we have the Atlanta Hawks traveling to Sacramento to take on the Sacramento Kings. Kent Bazemore and Miles Plumlee are going to be missing from the game for the Atlanta Hawks. Everybody's going to be in action for Sacramento. If you remember, the Hawks are actually coming off of a victory, that 123-118 victory at the Clippers, who would be the 8th seed right now in the playoffs. 2 days rest and off to Sacramento. If they could get a win here, that would actually be really impressive. Sacramento's going to be favored by 5 points at home. I actually wouldn't be surprised if that was more. ESPN's BPI has them at a 78% chance to win. So let's just take that 5 points, for example, 78% on that one. And let's look at something like the Dallas Mavericks, 6.5 points, but only a 65% chance. So there is a little bit of value there in maybe the Knicks play, but also probably the Kings in this one. And the last game of the night, and probably the best game of the night, ESPN at 8:30. We got a West Coast game here. The Utah Jazz in Portland taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Dante Exum, Thabo Sefolosha, and Raul Neto are going to be out for the Jazz. Nick Stauskas is day-to-day. He may play in this one here. Let's get a little preview button of it. Yeah, I mean, pretty much it is what it is. We're going to see a Nurkic versus Rudy Gobert matchup. That should be fun. Obviously, we're going to see a CJ McCollum, Dame Dash versus Donovan Mitchell matchup. Should be awesome. Those guys are always a great time. Dame having a career year. Donovan Mitchell really playing well as of late as well. It's going to be a great game. I'd like to watch this one. I think I probably will. Portland's going to be favored by 1.5 at home. Utah did just beat Portland last week, I do believe, in Utah. And so I guess that's where that spread is usually a little bit higher for a home team, though. And the BPI thingamajig here actually has the Blazers at a 56% chance. So I guess that's probably about where they're at. But a 56% chance of winning the game in this one. All right, that's the end of the news, or that's the end of the breakdown as far as the games and stuff. I'll get a little bit into some news here, if there is really much. Oh, yeah, actually, I I forgot about that Laker game last night. How did I forget about the Laker games? Because I skipped it. I forgot to break you down with the Laker game, guys. 76ers at LA. Last night, tough game, tough game. Obviously, the Lakers have just about nobody, but the Sixers win 121 to 105 in LA. Brandon Ingram, a career high, 36 points. Really a good game for Ingram. I'm really starting to worry about him right now. Let's see, how did he shoot? 16 for 20 from the field. How about that? 80% shooting, 36 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. JaVale McGee with 17 points and 14 boards off the bench. Other than that, only one person in double figures. KCP, 12 points. Zubac gives you only 7 points in 17 minutes. I'm not sure why he didn't play more, honestly. Michael Beasley in the starting rotation, 4 points in 10 minutes. Josh Hart gives you 35 minutes, but only 9 points. No, not a great game. Not a great game here for the Lakers. Leading the way for Philadelphia, of course, Joel Embiid, 28 points, 11 boards, 6 assists. Fantastic game for him in just 30 minutes, too. A little bit of rest for the man. Ben Simmons, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. And Jimmy Butler chips in with 20, 5, and 6 on 7 for 9 shooting. 20 points on 9 shot attempts. Fantastic game there for the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, sorry, that should have been at the beginning of the show. Other than that, that's pretty much where we're at. Not a whole lot of news going on in the NBA still. I mean, obviously, the news right now is still trade packages for Anthony Davis. I saw the Lakers increasing some of their trade package talk, yesterday, talking about a possibility of Kuzma, Ball, Ingram, Zubac, and 2 first-rounders. I have no idea how that would happen for Anthony Davis. I mean, that's a lot to give up. I'm really high on Zubac right now as well. But, I mean, realistically, I guess if they were to get Anthony Davis and have LeBron also, those 2 first-round picks would probably be really low. So maybe, 25 to 30 range. Maybe not that important. And then I guess, you don't really need scoring in the starting rotation too much after. You pretty much want shooters around him if you have Anthony Davis and LeBron. I mean, you don't really need like a Brandon Ingram, for example. Probably not really a Kuzma either. But yeah, you kind of just need to surround him with shooters. I actually did see also that Klay Thompson said that if, it's like a double if here, but if the Lakers were to get Anthony Davis and the Warriors were not to offer him the max contract that he'll be available for, or the supermax, I believe it is, at the end of this season, that his primary focus would be on going to LA and joining the Lakers. That would be interesting there. That would be a big 3. Probably that would be able to rival the Warriors, even if they kept Kevin Durant. But yeah, I guess New York is also in the Anthony Davis. I'm not sure what they'd be willing to trade. I think it actually might have been a Porzingis center package, which is absolutely insane. I don't know that I would give up Porzingis for Anthony Davis if I was New York. But, I mean, I think his upside is massive. I mean, he's incredible. I don't know. I guess Anthony Davis has done a lot of things this year that have never been done. But I just feel like Porzingis kind of helps the team win more. Anthony Davis seems like his team should win more than they do. But, yeah, that's where we're at there. Kevin Durant, I guess, the Knicks seem to think that they have a pretty good shot at signing him as well. Getting the KD, AD combination going in NYC. And then another thing I saw, Kyrie, the beloved Kyrie Irving, is apparently serious about a reunion with LeBron, possibly in LA. Some rumors came out the other day that the Celtics were concerned, have a growing concern, that he won't re-sign in Boston. I think that it's because Boston may not be as ready to take the leap that they thought they were. They may not be quite as good as we actually thought they were. And obviously they're having a little bit of problems with all the young players and just all the talented players in general, everybody wanting to get in. So I guess there is that growing concern that Kyrie might not be back. He might not sign there, and the possibility that he would go to